Okay, guys, so today webinar's name is Introductions to Trips, Transactions, and Reports. The audience, this is intended for all kind of users. The length will be from 45 to 60 minutes, depending on your questions. So the topics that we'll cover today will be access and manage all bookings from one place, create a trip and send an itinerary or proposal to a client, add main travelers and sub-travelers, add services to a trip, import a PNR to a trip must have Sabre integration, confirm services and generate invoices and or quotes, assign tasks to trips and manage tax templates, view the trip statements, review trip costs and commissions, intro to transactions and reports model. So the learning objectives of this webinar will be that after this training, you should have a clear understanding on know-how of the trip creation process, including adding clients, services, generating itineraries, invoices, and quotes, while also reviewing all the data in the transactions and reports model. What we won't cover today, any training for administrative users, any training on advanced trip features such as cost splitting, multiple currencies, adding new services to existing invoices, or customizing invoices and entering payments. So with that being said, let's start with the platform demo. Okay, guys, so with that being said, let's go to the platform demo. Okay, so now we'll go direct to the trips model. So first of all, I'm going to shut down my video so it won't interfere while I'm explaining. Okay, guys, good. So first of all, I would like to show you the trip to search menu. Okay, so first, for example, if you would like to search for Miami, you can, it's going to show you all the options here. Then we have the advanced search. You can always research search. Then we have the advanced search. So for example, if you would like to, search for a trip that the start date will be, from, let's say, May of this year, and then I click on add new conditions so I can search for the end date that will be May 31st, and I click on apply. It's gonna bring me all the trips that occur during that date. Okay, I can always research search. Something super important that we will see later is the trip ID, which is a number that Travel Contact assigns automatically to the trip. Okay, then you can search, for example, if I want to see lost, here I have two lost trips, or if you want to look active or all, you can always filter by status. Then you here will only see your trips. If you're an agent or if you're an admin user, you will have both options. Then to create, erase or to delete a trip, you just, need to stand on the trip and you can come here and delete it. Okay, so if you would like to open it, you just have to click on it and it will take you to the trip. Okay, so how to create a new one? So you have this button over here, or you have this button here. So it's exactly the same. So for the trip name, I highly recommend words that you may find easy to remember. So for example, I'm gonna say the Bahamas Garcia family, September 2023. Okay, so the main traveler will be Marianela. Okay, so if I come here, guys, like I explained in previous webinars, you can link profiles in travel contacts. So you don't have to add, for example, if Marianela always travel with her family and the same people, you know, you don't have to add them manually. You just click on here and let's say that Victor and let's say Stefania are going to travel with her. Okay, if not, you can click here and it's going to select all of them. Okay, and then if you would like to create a task, okay, or to add a task to this trip, you can come here and you will find all the templates that you have already created in the home model. If not, you can always add a new one. So for example, I have a template for all trips. And if I click on continue, I have call a client. I could say send the itinerary. You can send a quote. Okay. And you can add even due date or description. For example, the due date for this will be this Friday, okay? And the same with the other ones. And if you want to add more information, so now I can confirm and create. Great, okay, so this is how all the trips in Travel Contact are going to look. So we have the same sections for every trip. So we have the dashboard, which will feed from all the information that you enter into this trip. Okay, so this is pretty empty right now because I haven't entered any information. Okay, so we will go back to the dashboard after we finish with this trip. So here I have this fixed menu. Okay, here you can edit the name or if you enter any date. Something that I would like to mention is that even though that you enter a tentative trip date or the start and end, the real date that the trip is going to have will be from its bookings, okay, from the services. Going to close. Okay, so here you'll find the total trip cost and the total commissions. Then you have this trip status bar, okay? So first we have the proposal, the draft. This will change automatically since you are working on your trip, but for negotiation, you can do it manually from draft to negotiation, okay? Then we'll see how this all changes. Okay, so coming back to our clients, I added 2 sub-travelers. So what's a main traveler? A main traveler is the person that is in charge of paying for the trip, okay? So that's the person that I'm going to send the invoices and everything regarding payments. Then I have 2 sub-travelers. So you can remove, you can delete it, you can, add more sub-travelers. You can even add 1 main traveler. For this webinar, we will only work with 1 main traveler, okay? So for example, if I wanna say that Alexis will travel with Marianela too, I add the client, okay? And now I have 3 sub-travelers here. If I would like to remove one or to view the client info, just have to click on the 3 dots, okay, on the right. So something very important here is where you will find the options, okay, regarding your clients. So going to the services. In Travel Contact, there are two ways to create a service. First, we have that you can import from a GDS. So if your agency is integrated with Sabre, you can come here, add a PNR, and all the information will enter in Travel Contact automatically, so you don't have to do it manually. And then is the other way where you can add as many services as needed. It doesn't matter if you click on here, you can add as many as you would like to. So for example, if I click on flight, okay? So let's say that they are going to travel, with American Airlines. Okay, the departure date, I'm gonna say that is September 7th, and that they arrived the same day, September 7th. The departure city, I'm gonna say that is Miami, okay. And for the arrival city, I'm gonna say that is Nassau, Bahamas. Okay, you can add here as many comments as needed. You can even add flights. Okay, you can add main travelers. So I'm gonna say that all of them are going to go in the same flight. Then I come to cost information. Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is payment to agency. So payment to agency is when you invoice your client, is when you receive money from the client, and after that you pay to the supplier. Okay, so for this example, we are gonna say that is payment to agency. Okay, so first of all, here I come to the base fare, and I'm gonna say that is $4,000. Okay, the pay type, I'm gonna say that is gross, so it's in this amount. And I'm gonna say that the supplier commission will be 50%. Okay, I'm sorry, 50%. You can do it with dollars and the amount, or you can do it with a percentage. Okay, so then I click on add service. Okay, if not, I can come here and add another service. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna say activity. Okay, I come to the supplier. I said activity will be the Lion King. The start date, I'm gonna say that will be 9. Okay, September 9th. Okay, and you can even add more information. You can say, for example, I'm gonna say that only Marianela Alexis are gonna make this activity. Remember, guys, this is super important. It's a required field. Then I come to the cost information. So I'm gonna say that Marianela is gonna pay $500. Okay, and gross, and the supplier commission will be 10%. Okay, and I click on add services. And you can add, like I said, as many services as needed. Then, for example, if let's add an insurance. Okay, so you come here, Best Doctors Insurance. I'm going to add a confirmation number. If you would like to add a policy number here. Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is until September 15th. Let's say that will be the trip. Okay, so then I go to the cost information, and I'm gonna say that this is payment to supplier. So for payment to supplier is when you don't receive any money from your client paid direct to the supplier, or you pay to the supplier with your client's credit card. Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is gonna be $400. It could be net, it could be gross. I'm gonna say gross. And I'm gonna say that this is also 50%. Okay, so I click on Add Services. Okay, so how can we do to create a quote for my client? If you click on here, you will have the option to come here and create a quote. If you don't want to create a quote, you can do it here from the action button and create a quote here. I'm going to create all the quotes. Come here. And for example, if you would like to hide the supplier and the creation date, if you would like to change, example, I don't want it to say quote 1, and this is gonna go automatically to Marianela, but if you would like to send this or to create this for another of the travelers, there's the option. Okay, so I'm gonna hide also the other 2 suppliers and I click on create. If you would like to add any discount, I'm gonna say no, click on create. So where can I find this quote? I'll go to trip documents. Okay, I'll go to quotes and I will have it here. So I see the services, the dates. If everything is fine, I go to the actions button and you have all these options here. You can view it. You can also delete it, for example, if you would like to change, you know, the color or the font. Example, let's say this is gonna be purple. If you would like to say something here, like paid, or add any terms to it, okay? For example, I'm gonna say, please include in all invoices, okay? So you can even add extended terms to the quotes, okay? You can even download it here. If you finish, you go back to the quote list and you can send it, okay? I'm gonna say that I want to add it itemized with payment details. So here is, you can see, here's the quote. You can add the subject and you can add, you know, all the information, attach files. Something that is super important, I can add another client to this communication, but they have to be clients from this trip, okay? So for example, if I'm going to add Alexis, okay, I can do it because Alexis is going to travel with Marianela, the same for Victor, okay? But you cannot add clients that are not included in this trip, okay? So I'm gonna close it here. Okay, so then we go back to the services. So let's pretend that your clients said that everything was perfect and they confirmed. You can click on here, okay, and view services in case of any action you may need. And you can come here and confirm an invoice now. So like it's payment to agency, it's going to generate an invoice. So I come here, okay, I say that everything is fine, and then I click on create. Okay, the same with the other ones. For example, like this is payment to supplier. You just have to click on confirm services. Okay, guys, so now I have confirmed and invoiced all my services. Everything looks nice. And I go to the payment section. What happens when you want to report a payment? You come here. Okay, and I have client payments. So I'm gonna say that the client paid to me, right? So look at here, I don't have any payments reported, okay? So I'm going to report and allocate. So I'm gonna say that Marianela, okay, there's a wire, payment type, it's made, I receive it today, and I'm gonna say that this is $500. So if I want to add a name on payment, for example, Marianela's payment, $500, okay? I click on continue, and now you can report. So I'm gonna say that this is for the Lion King, okay? I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that this is for the Lion King, and I click on submit payment. Okay, and now you can see that I have reported this amount, okay? So now I have the payment reported. This was paid to agency. You can see all the details, but now you can see that this is empty. So this hasn't been confirmed by back office. So something super important to keep in mind is that back office is only for admin or assistant users. So you as an agent will only have the task to report it, the ability to report a payment, but you know, here it will look empty until the admin says, yes, we received this by back office, okay? Okay, so the same, guys, if you need to continue reporting, for example, let's report the other payment. I'm gonna say it was the same wire. I'm gonna say this was for 1,000, and you can say Marianela's payment. For 1,000, I click on continue. Okay, so I'm gonna say that it's here. Okay, and I click on submit payment. Okay, so now you can see that she has paid almost all of the trip. So something important when we come to the client invoices. Okay, what if we would like to see the invoice, okay, that I created? You can come here, okay, and view invoice. You can edit it, you can delete it, okay? So you can even view payments, you can download it, okay? So for example, if I would like to see the invoice, here is the invoice, you can download it, as I said, or you can add terms. Example, please include in all invoices, okay? I click on back to invoice list. If I would like to see payments, okay? If I would like to download it. So always use this plus actions button, okay? I only have 2 invoices for the 2 services that are payment to agency, okay? Here you can do it like bulk, okay? If you would like to download the cost summary and PDF, okay? Or if you would like to delete the confirmed amount. Okay, so even though I report the payment, okay, here in client payments, you see that the total paid is 0. This is because it has to be confirmed by the back office. So that's something super important to understand. Okay, guys, so as we see, we already have confirmed all our services. We create the quote, we report the payment, okay? And then if you would like to send an itinerary, something that is super important to keep in mind is that Travel Contact creates itinerary automatically for you. and you have it for all the clients, or you can download it or send it by every client. But super important is that we have an integration with UMAP or Travefy. So how does this work? If you, for example, have your user in Travefy and you already configured the integration with Travel Contact, please, if there's any doubt regarding this, you can always contact us. So you just click on create itinerary in Travefy and all of this information will go directly to Travefy. Okay, so that's how the integrations work. Okay, so then you can download it with cost or without cost. Okay, for example, I'm gonna say with cost. Okay, so here you can see this is how the itinerary looks. Okay, so like I said, we do have this option of UMAP and Travefy. And then we have the trip statements. So for the trip statements, this is like a document that is a review of all the payments and invoices that you have created on the trip. Okay, so we have the version history, which you can only view or download, okay, or you will have the current version, which you can edit. Okay, all right, so this is how, okay, it's gonna look. So here we don't have, we will find all the payments, okay, that this client has made, okay? So you can find all the information here. So it's super useful since it's a resume of everything that you have been doing in the platform, okay, regarding all costs and payments. Then we have the revenue section. So here you can find all the information regarding the commissions. So for example, I have the total commission, I have the commission percentage, the commission received, the commission due. So if you would like to view a commission payment on or to view service info, me as an agent will not have the option to enter any commission, but I can see the commission payments that are related to this. I haven't paid anything, so this is pretty empty, but for you to know that, or if you have any doubt regarding the service info. Then we have the task, notes, and docs, okay? So you remember that I add some tasks when I created the trip. So here I have it. So let's pretend that I complete it all, or I need to edit, or I need to delete it. Okay, you can see the completed task here. Okay, so here is where you can see it, and even you can add more tasks to this trip. Then you have notes regarding all these types of notes. And then we have the additional documents. So this basically works as a Dropbox. So if you need to browse the file, okay, from your computer, and then we have the change log. So for the change log, here are the changes that you made on this trip, okay? So for example, if I did any payment, it's very nice because you can click on here and it's gonna take you to the invoices or to the services. Okay, so coming back to the dashboard. Okay, so see how these change, right? The total trip cost and the total commissions. So now it's not in draft or negotiation, is confirmed, okay? So while it's getting closer, this is going to change, okay? And you can close it at the end. So this is the summary for clients. I have the start and the end date. I have the main traveler here. Okay, I have the cost regarding this trip. Okay, the commissions, I haven't received any. These are the expected commission. These are the pending invoices, okay? And these are the payments, okay? So remember that you need to confirm it, or the admin, the system need to confirm the payment by back office in order to reflect that information here. And this is a review of all the services that you have on this trip. Okay, so something super important is this number, the trip ID. So please, if there's any issue regarding the trip, it's super important that you give us as much information as possible. So you can send the trip ID with the URL or here with a picture, okay? Okay, guys, so then we'll go to the transactions model. So here you will have three options: services report, commission reports, and invoices report. So for services, if you would like to search by date, okay, the services that you had, for example, on February of this year, okay, you can come here and you can export. So this is going to download an Excel file. The same for the commission reports, with it's super useful to keep track of commissions not received. These are the ones that the agency hasn't received, and you can export them. Then we have not paid. So the agency received the payment but hasn't paid to the agent yet. You can export this, and you as an agent can search for the commissions that you have received. So for example, me as an admin can see all the agents, but for example, if I would like to search for myself and I would like to see the commissions that my agency has paid to me, and I need to export this file, come here, okay? So you can always customize. The same for the invoices, okay? If you would like to search for a specific invoices, here you'll have the option, and all commissions is only for admin purposes. Then we will have the reports. So you can pull on any kind of reports here. For example, me as an agent, if I would like to see, okay, like the service sold or the commission received, the commission paid out, the agent's fees. So for example, if I want to see the services sold, okay, and I want to customize in a specific date from February until this date, okay, and I want to see the services, here I'll find the options. You can export this. The same with the commission received, okay. For example, these are all the commissions that my agency has received, and these are the commissions that they have paid out. So you can export this as an Excel file. Something that I want to mention pretty quick is the help widget button, which you can always contact us. Remember to tell us your name, your email address, more information the better, and to add screenshots, which are super important. Here you can visit our health center where you can register for the following webinars. You can search by article, or you will find tutorial videos. So I would like to mention pretty quick the learning path. We have 4 webinars: Quick Start, Get to Know Travel Contact for Administrator, Introduction to TRIPS Transactions and Report, which was today's webinar, Advanced TRIP Accounting and Reports, and the other resources. We have the Help Center, the Help widget, and remember, you can always contact us to support@travelcontact.com. Thank you very much for your attention, and please let us know if you have additional questions. Have a nice day.